Well, here we are. It's September and schools have begun. A lot of normalcy is starting to come back, but yet under a strange umbrella. As we've been working through in scriptures from week after week, we're trying to make sure that we stay God-focused and make sure that the narrative of our lives is the gospel. And true to the psalm that I taught from on Sunday out of Psalm 86, that verse where after David has shared, I've got this broken relationship. In fact, the person is even trying to kill me. He's pleading to God because I think he's afraid of what he might do. He is a warrior. He is capable of defending himself, but he's capable of taking it in his own hands at the cost of God leading the way. And I think that is one of the challenges that each of us have as followers of Christ. The way God has designed us, we have a lot of confidence in our ability to handle the moment. And sometimes, if we're self-aware enough, we realize that may be a dangerous proposition in particular relational broken situations. And so that's where I believe the statement that is found in Psalm 86:11 comes from, is David being self-aware and realizing that this situation needs to be handled in the manner that God would want it and not in the way that David would handle it if left to himself. And so I charged people on Sunday to memorize Psalm 86:11. And so I'm going to highlight the verse again and then kind of break it down a little bit more in this time. So it's, teach me your ways, O Lord, that I may rely upon your faithfulness. Give me an undivided heart that I may fear your name. So teach me your way. Teach me your way of handling this situation, Lord, that I may rely upon your faithfulness. Because it's one thing to get taught about how God would do something. It's another thing then to say, so that I can then rely upon it. A lot of good teachers in my life, and they've taught me maybe exactly as I should do it, but it's another thing that I end up relying upon the wisdom that I've just been given. Every baseball player I've ever coached, the ones that really excelled were the ones that had some talent and would receive from instruction from their coaches. They would receive it and they would apply it. There were many talented players that would say, behave as if, I got it, I can do that. But you can tell it's like, no, I got this, I know better than him, or I just don't like that. And they always seem to be just falling short of potential or expectations. I look at this and I say, that's human nature. That's even human nature for those of us as we get older. In fact, I think it becomes more so, where we become pretty patternistic on how to handle situations to where we don't, as the King James would say, beseech God, request of God the help, and say, God, yeah, I have a way I'd like to handle this situation, but I need to do it according to your way. So help me to rely upon your faithfulness. And then when it gets tough and I'm struggling with the timing of when you would do it or how you would do it, give me an undivided heart where I am so fully committed that I'm in it to the end on doing it your way. I'm not going to try to help God out. And when I think of helping God out, I'm reminded of the moment when the story of Abraham, when he was told, I'm going to make your family into this great nation. And that promise came and years go by and nothing's happening. And so Abraham was like, he should have taken that moment and said, teach me your ways, O Lord. Let me rely upon your faithfulness. Give me an undivided heart that I may fear your name. If he had prayed that, he may not have made the decision to father the child Ishmael, who has now been the enemy of Israel all these centuries later. All because Abraham chose to help God out and do it his way, which was guided by a marital decision with his wife. What if he and Sarah had just paused and just said, Lord, we're tired. It's been a long time. How do you want us to go about this? We know you're faithful. Can we rely upon that faithfulness? Our hearts are becoming divided, and acknowledge it. And then to fear you enough, God, that I would choose to stay the course even when others don't. And so in regards to our relational challenges, of which I would say, I've experienced many right now, just not because there's disagreement that I have with other people. It's just a challenge when you know that our opinions are so varied. And it can cause anger or harm just by having a difference of opinion, and people feel disenfranchised by that. And nobody wants that. And so what do we do as children of God, of which I am just one? We're just like, Lord, how do we go about this? How's your way? Can I trust in your faithfulness, or should I take it into my own hands and fix the problem? And quite frankly, my mind even tells me as I'm saying that will just blow up in my face. And so I really believe that if we take that verse to heart and we say, God, give me an undivided heart that I may fear your name, that we would fear what God would want more than we would fear, rights being taken, or fear, that the state's going to come against us or whatever, or fear a virus for that matter. We fear God more, that the narrative then of our life becomes truly the mission of God, at advancing the good news of Jesus Christ. And sometimes it requires a tremendous amount of patience to trust that the faithfulness of God is worthy of an undivided heart, to stay the course even when that course seems to be getting long. We don't want to make decisions like Abraham that will cost not only our lifetime, but it will cost our children's lives and their lifetime. We got to consider all the future, even in the current present. So may the Lord continue to drip this verse deep into our heart and let it become our prayer, so that the fear of God is what directs our actions and our words, because our heart is fully devoted to Jesus Christ. May that be true of us. From my heart to yours, may you have an undivided heart. God bless.